So these are all different missions of the past that NASA has been involved in. And what we are doing now is we are building upon those successes to go back to the moon sustainably. We know that there's hundreds of millions of tons of water ice on the south pole of the moon. Water ice represents life support.
No way. How is this different than 50 years ago?
50 years ago, we went under the name Apollo. And this time, we're going under the name of Apollo's twin sister, Artemis. We go with a very diverse, highly qualified astronaut corps that includes women. We learn how to live and work on another world, and ultimately, we take all of that knowledge to Mars.
So we're actually going to stay on the moon?
Absolutely. Unlike last time, this time we're going to stay.
But how are we going to get there?
We are in the Orion crew capsule, which is the vehicle that's going to take our astronauts to the moon. This crew capsule is going to go to a space station called Gateway. Gateway will be in orbit around the moon for 15 years. You got to watch your head in these things.
What does it feel like to walk on the moon?
When we go to the moon, we're going to have 1/6 the gravity of the Earth. And what? Oh, there you are. You look at you. You're already in 1/6 the gravity of the Earth.
How are NASA's investments in space exploration having positive impact for everyday Americans?
Right now, on the International Space Station, we are proving that we can compound pharmaceuticals in a way that cannot be done on Earth. We can print in 3 dimensions human organs using adult stem cells. Space is transforming human lives right here on Earth.
How important is having life-size mock-ups for astronaut training?
Well, it's absolutely critical. In order for the astronauts to be ready to do what needs to be done on every mission, they have to train. So what we have to do is be able to replicate the harsh environment of space and demonstrate neutral buoyancy and/or weightlessness. And we use the neutral buoyancy lab in order to replicate those effects.
Whoa, this place is big. What am I looking at in there?
Inside this pool, we have a replica of the International Space Station. Our astronauts actually get to practice doing spacewalks underwater. Newton's laws of physics apply here. So if you're in space and you try to turn a wrench, you might turn the wrench, but you also might turn yourself. And our astronauts get training to learn how to deal with those effects.
Jim, I think I have what it takes, but I have to ask, what characteristics do you look for?
When we do things, the entire world sees it. What we are looking for at NASA are people who want to make history. And as long as we keep doing absolutely stunning achievements, we will always attract the absolute best.
You are the definition of humans and technology coming together to change the world. What excites you going forward for NASA?
We are writing brand new chapters in history books and science books. It's navigation. We think about GPS, communications, the way we produce food, the way we produce energy, the way we predict weather, how we understand climate. All of these things are capabilities and technologies born from this little agency called NASA that has the best brand America has to offer.
Jim, seeing everything firsthand has left me stunned. But as a kid, I've always wanted to put on the suit. Can I do that?
Today is your lucky day. Absolutely, I'd love to have you try on a spacesuit. Every spacesuit is a spaceship designed specifically for the astronaut that wears it. We're talking about thermal environments of -200 degrees and +200 degrees, and we're talking about the vacuum of deep space.
Jim, sign me up. I'm ready to go. Thanks again for showing me around today.
It's been my honor, and we will indeed sign you up.
Between 1968 and 1972, America launched 9 human missions to the moon, 6 of which successfully touched down, allowing 12 men to walk on the lunar surface. NASA's next chapter of lunar exploration, called Artemis, has the task of not just going to the moon to create a long-term human presence on and around it, but also to prepare for ever more complex human missions to Mars. In short, everything we must be able to do here, we must first do here. So, what will an Artemis mission look like? Everything is designed and tested with our most important element in mind, the astronauts. This is their deep space, human-rated spacecraft called Orion, built in 3 parts. The crew module, where up to 4 astronauts will live and work throughout the flight. The service module, with life support systems for the crew and its own engine and fuel reserves. and a launch abort system with engines capable of pulling the crew module to safety during launch should anything go wrong. To accomplish the task of launching our crew and heavy payloads, NASA is building the Space Launch System, comprising of a cargo hold, an exploration upper stage, a massive core stage, and 2 extended solid rocket boosters. Altogether, this is the world's most powerful rocket, and it exceeds the legendary Saturn V of the Apollo era in numerous ways. Sitting on the launch pad, the entire rocket, fully fueled, weighs just over 6 million pounds, 5.2 million of which is just the fuel. Once ignited, there was no stopping what comes next. All 4 RS-25 engines and the 2 solid rocket boosters come to life, thundering our crew upwards. 2 minutes after ignition, the solid rocket boosters are spent and released. 8 minutes after launch, the core stage is depleted and separated. The upper stage fires briefly, placing Orion into a parking orbit around the Earth. Here, the crew reconfigure the spacecraft and check systems to confirm everything is ready for deep space travel. With a go from mission control, the crew reignite the exploration upper stage engines to leave Earth entirely. The exact timing of this maneuver is critical to reach a speed that can escape Earth's gravitational pull, but also put Orion on a course that will intersect the Moon days later. Once this burn is complete, the upper stage of the SLS is jettisoned and the crew aboard Orion coast for several days toward all that awaits them at the Moon. Approaching the Moon, we see the fundamental differences between Artemis and Apollo. Instead of requiring Orion to serve as an expendable lunar command module or to carry a constrained lunar lander, the Artemis missions will take advantage of a different approach: pre-staging. Everything needed for lunar missions will be positioned in advance by commercial and international partners. This includes rovers, science experiments, and human-rated systems on the surface. But it also includes a dedicated lunar station in orbit around the Moon called Gateway. Here at this station, we can pre-stage a robust lunar lander and establish a strong communications relay. Designed with open standards, the Gateway can be expanded as new missions and partnerships develop, allowing multiple human missions on the Moon at the same time and enabling ongoing science to be conducted even between human missions. The Gateway is also capable of adjusting its orbit to allow access to every part of the Moon, something the Apollo missions could not do. But the real key in this approach is placing Gateway in a unique halo orbit to perfect the maneuvers needed for Mars missions. And with the growing list of commercial and international opportunities, Gateway is the ideal hub between Earth and all that lies beyond. Returning to our crew as they approach Gateway, the Orion must match the elliptical orbit of the station in order to successfully dock. Once on board, pre-selected crew members transfer to the lunar lander, while those assigned to Gateway remain on station. The lunar lander system itself is built for 3 unique steps: descending from the halo orbit of Gateway down to a low lunar orbit, descending from low lunar orbit to the surface, and once the lunar mission is complete, launching from the surface of the Moon and ascending all the way back to the orbiting Gateway. Once back aboard the Orion spacecraft and undocked from Gateway, the crew fire their engine once to break out of the halo orbit, and once again to sling the spacecraft around the Moon, placing it on a multi-day trajectory back towards Earth. As they near the end of this journey, the service module is released, and the crew module is oriented heat shield first. Entering Earth's atmosphere at 25,000 miles per hour, the friction of air slows Orion considerably, while also subjecting it to temperatures of 5,000 degrees. With the Orion now at just 300 miles per hour, a series of parachutes uniquely tested and produced for this moment deploy, decelerating the craft to just 20 miles per hour for splashdown. With each successful mission, Artemis ushers in the next wave of men and women to explore our Moon and prove that together we are ready to go beyond.
Station Houston, are you ready for the event?
Houston, this is Station. We're ready for the event. Welcome aboard the International Space Station to the Expedition 63 to 64 crew change of command. I'm NASA astronaut Chris Cassidy here, and with all six of us, it's an honor to be with this event with you guys right now. You know, Expedition 63 has gone by super fast. We joke around that there's only Mondays and Fridays, and it's a big blur of time between. And when we started the mission, the pandemic on Earth was just starting, and now we are returning to Earth, and our fellow crewmates here had to train through those 6 months. Our time on board has been very interesting. We've had some time as a 3-person crew. We had some time as a 6-person crew, both at the beginning with Drew and Jessica and Oleg, and now with Sergey, and Kate. And then in the middle, we had a time as a 5-person crew with Bob and Doug, and we had the privilege of welcoming the SpaceX demo mission on board the International Space Station. Sprinkle in there some spacewalks and some Progress cargo vehicles and some American cargo vehicles and some crazy situations with the space station systems. It's just been an incredible 6 months of our lives. But experiences are nothing without the people that you enjoy those experiences with. And I must say it's been really an honor to be with my friend Tolia and Yvonne. Couldn't have asked for a better team of people to be here with, and when we had just a crew of 3, we spent several cozy days in just the service module, and it was just a wonderful, wonderful time. I also want to give a shout out, as I mentioned, to Drew, Jessica, and Oleg. It was great to be with them. Bob and Doug, certainly we had 2 wonderful months, and then this week has gone by super fast with Sergey, and Kate. Thank you for being part of it with us. And so with that, we have this small tradition where there's a key to the International Space Station, which didn't exist when I was here 7 years ago. I don't remember this, but now we have this, and I think it's very cool. It symbolizes the tool that we use on the Russian hatches to open and close the hatches, and it's a very appropriate key of the space station. It symbolizes the camaraderie that we have between all of the space agencies. And Sergey, it's with great pleasure and honor that I present you this key and command of the International Space Station. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's a great day. It's an unforgettable event. And this key reminds me time when I was a pilot and we kept key of sky. And now we keep key of space. And it's very interesting, very honorable for me. And we are very happy to join our crewmates and left this week together. And our mission is going to be very to have many events, many activity, and we are ready to continue tradition to show how on board people have example for people on Earth, how we work together, how we help together, and how we like to be on board station. So thank you very much, whole ground team, and we are looking forward to work with you upcoming 6 months. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Houston. We appreciate your support, and over to you.
Station Houston, we are thrilled to be with you today as we mark the end of this amazing increment. Expedition 63, thank you for your hard work and accomplishments. You've all set an impressive example with your work ethic and dedication to the mission. Chris, Anatoly, and Ivan, safe travels home tomorrow. And Sergey, and Kate, we are looking forward to a great increment with working with you.
Station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes our event as we count down the 20 continuous years of humans living and working on the International Space Station. Thank you.
Communications.